Today our topic is how to stop worrying and start living like a Stoic. Life is full of challenges, and it is easy to get lost in worries, fears, and stress. But what if I told you there is a way to live a calmer, more peaceful life? This is where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that teaches us how to find strength, peace, and happiness, even when life is hard. It is not about avoiding problems or pretending everything is perfect. It is about changing how we see the world and how we react to it. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. This idea is simple but powerful. Let me explain how you can use Stoic principles to stop worrying and start living a better life. First, let's talk about control. One of the most important lessons from Stoicism is understanding the difference between what we can control and what we cannot. Think about it. Can you control the weather? No. Can you control what other people say or do? Not really. But can you control your own thoughts, actions, and reactions? Yes, absolutely. Worrying often comes from trying to control things that are outside our power. For example, you might worry about what people think of you or whether you will get a promotion at work. But the truth is you cannot control these things. What you can control is how hard you work, how kind you are to others, and how you respond to challenges. When you focus on what you can control, you take back your power. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter and start focusing on what truly does. Next, let's talk about acceptance. Life is not always fair, and bad things will happen. This is a fact. Stoicism teaches us to accept this reality instead of fighting against it. When you accept that life has ups and downs, you become stronger. You stop expecting everything to be perfect, and you learn to handle difficulties with grace. For example, if you lose your job, instead of panicking or blaming others, you can accept the situation and focus on finding a new opportunity. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means facing reality with courage and moving forward. The Stoics believe that suffering comes not from the events themselves, but from our resistance to them. When you stop resisting and start accepting, you free yourself from unnecessary pain. Another key idea in Stoicism is gratitude. It is easy to focus on what is wrong in life, but this only makes us unhappy. The Stoics believed in focusing on what we have instead of what we lack. Take a moment to think about the good things in your life. Maybe you have a loving family, good health, or a job that pays the bills. These are things to be grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from problems to blessings. It reminds you that even in difficult times, there is still good in your life. Practicing gratitude every day can help you feel more content and less worried. You can start by writing down 3 things you are grateful for each day. This simple habit can change your mindset and improve your outlook on life. Stoicism also teaches us to live in the present moment. Most of our worries come from thinking too much about the past or the future. We regret things we did, or we fear what might happen. But the truth is the past is gone, and the future is not here yet. The only moment we truly have is now. When you focus on the present, you let go of unnecessary worries. For example, instead of worrying about a meeting tomorrow, focus on what you can do today to prepare. Instead of regretting a mistake you made last week, think about what you can learn from it and how you can improve. Living in the present moment helps you stay calm and focused. It allows you to enjoy life as it happens instead of being trapped in your thoughts. Another important Stoic principle is to see challenges as opportunities. Life is full of obstacles, but these obstacles can make us stronger if we approach them the right way. The Stoics believe that every challenge is a chance to grow and improve. For example, if you face a difficult situation at work, instead of seeing it as a problem, see it as a chance to learn new skills or prove your resilience. When you change your perspective, you turn obstacles into stepping stones. This mindset helps you stay positive and motivated, even when things are tough. Remember, the greatest growth often comes from the hardest challenges. Stoicism also teaches us to practice self-discipline. This means controlling our desires and emotions instead of letting them control us. It is easy to give in to anger, fear, or laziness, but these emotions only make life harder. Self-discipline helps us stay calm and focused, even in difficult situations. For example, if someone insults you, instead of reacting with anger, you can choose to respond with patience and understanding. Self-discipline is not about suppressing your emotions, but about managing them in a healthy way. It takes practice, but over time, it becomes easier. The more you practice self-discipline, the more control you have over your life. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is negative visualization. This means imagining the worst-case scenario and preparing yourself for it. At first, this might sound strange or even scary, but it is actually very helpful. When you imagine the worst that could happen, you realize that you can handle it. This reduces fear and anxiety because you know you are prepared. For example, if you are worried about losing your job, imagine what you would do if it happened. Maybe you would find another job, start a business, or learn new skills. When you have a plan, you feel more confident and less worried. Negative visualization also helps you appreciate what you have, because it reminds you that things could be worse. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of virtue. Virtue means living with honesty, courage, wisdom, and justice. The Stoics believe that true happiness comes from living a virtuous life, not from wealth, fame, or power. When you focus on being a good person, you feel fulfilled and at peace. For example, instead of chasing money or status, focus on being kind, helping others, and doing the right thing. Virtue gives your life meaning and purpose. It helps you stay true to yourself and live with integrity. Finally, Stoicism teaches us to remember that life is short. This might sound sad, but it is actually a powerful reminder to make the most of every moment. When you remember that life is limited, you stop wasting time on things that don't matter. You focus on what truly brings you joy and fulfillment. You appreciate the people you love and the experiences you have. The Stoics believe that thinking about death helps us live better lives because it reminds us to value what we have. So, instead of fearing death, use it as motivation to live fully and passionately. In conclusion, Stoicism offers practical tools to help you stop worrying and start living a better life. By focusing on what you can control, accepting reality, practicing gratitude, living in the present, seeing challenges as opportunities, practicing self-discipline, using negative visualization, living with virtue, and remembering the shortness of life, you can find peace and strength. Stoicism does not promise a life without problems, but it gives you the tools to handle problems with courage and wisdom. It teaches you to focus on what truly matters and let go of what doesn't. So, if you want to stop worrying and start living, try applying these Stoic principles to your life. You might be surprised at how much calmer, happier, and more fulfilled you feel. Remember, life is not about avoiding difficulties, but about facing them with strength and grace. This is the way of the Stoic, and it can be your way too.